Right Riches for You by Gary M. Douglas and Dr. Dane here. Shouldn't an infinite being at least be able to pay the rent? Shouldn't an infinite being wake up happy every now and again? And shouldn't an infinite being actually like his life? If I'm so infinite, why the hell does my life look like the way it does? It's because instead of choosing to perceive everything, know everything, and be everything, which allows you to receive everything, including all the money we could ever ask for, we choose to operate within the limitations of this reality. We choose to be in agreement with everyone else about what is. We reject what we could have. We refuse to receive it. We believe we have to part and parcel ourselves like everyone else does. We reduce ourselves down. We limit ourselves. We define ourselves in terms of our body, our bank account, or the house we live in. We try to make ourselves like everybody else so we fit in. The reality is we are everything, but we say, oh no, I'm a finite being. I am limited by the size of my body or the pond that I live on. We get stuck in the lie. I am a very limited being. I'm finite in my capacity. It's not true. We are not limited and finite. You as a being are nothing but a cool spring breeze. You are just space. You are not your body. These bodies are limited, but you, on the other hand, are everything. How can you put you, who are infinite, into a body? You can't. Actually, your body is inside you. Your body functions inside of you, not you inside your body. Even if you made your body weigh 1,000 pounds, it still wouldn't be big enough to contain you. Close your eyes and find the outside edges of you, the being. Can you find the outside edges of you, or is everywhere you look where you are? That's an infinite being. Could a being that big fit inside a body this small? Isn't your body actually inside of you? When a situation shows up in your life that isn't working for you, try asking, would an infinite being choose this? No? Then why am I? If an infinite being wouldn't choose it, why would you? We invite you to look at those places where you decided a limitation was a good thing and unlock them so you don't have to maintain that point of view anymore. You don't have to take on the limited points of view that other people buy into. You can choose differently. Do you have any idea of what it would be like to live your life moment by moment as the infinite being you truly are? Well, for one thing, you would claim and own that you are an infinite being with infinite powers. You wouldn't buy into the agreements of this reality. You'd have too much to do. You'd be having too much fun, and you'd probably have too much money. Abundance is not about the amount of money you have in your bank account. It's about having more of everything in your life. It's about having joy in your life. Abundance is about everything that you're willing to receive. Dean and I have worked with all kinds of people about their so-called money issues. It doesn't matter whether they have $10 or 10 million. They have all had the same money issue. How can this be? It's because money isn't the problem. The problem is their unwillingness to receive. They are unable to receive. There are things they don't want to receive, or they don't believe it is good to receive. It is what you are unwilling to receive in life that keeps you from having the money you would like to have. Most people are more comfortable with not having money than they are having money. They seem to have the point of view that if you have a lot of money, it means you have stolen from somebody else, you used others badly, or you are totally depraved. So they will deprive themselves in order to not be depraved. They choose deprivation rather than depravity. I'm willing to generate a lot of money. Some people might think I don't deserve it, and they may be right, but even so, I am willing to receive it. Most people can only have what they think they deserve, but do you deserve to feel the cool wind on a hot day, or do you just feel it? Do you deserve to have the sun on your face, or do you just go outdoors and there it is? What if money was like the sun? What if it were something that shines down on you? What if it came to you as easily as the flow of your breath? This is the way it's supposed to be. Receiving is supposed to be like receiving the air you breathe, the warmth of the sun, and the caress of the wind. Addiction to poverty. Many of the people we work with suffer from an addiction to poverty, which is the unwillingness to let everything in the universe gift to them. If you wish to have money, you must be willing to receive. You must be willing to allow everything in the world to gift to you. The limits of your reality are based on the amount of money you're willing to allow yourself to have. In other words, if you're willing to have just enough money, you will always be just a paycheck away from poverty. You will continually create that financial reality. If you are only willing to have slightly more than you actually need, then you will continually create that. That becomes the limitation of your reality. If you think that you have to work hard in order to have money and you don't have a sense of ease with it, then you will constantly create that as your reality. Many years ago, when I had no money, I would go around to the garage sales to buy things I could sell to earn extra money. One day when I was out, I saw a 14-karat gold doorknob priced at $4. At the time, would have been worth about $1,000. On that particular day, I didn't have any cash. I had my checkbook, but my wife at the time had written checks we didn't have the money to cover, and I had committed myself to never writing a check that was bad. I was so committed to not writing bad checks that I couldn't even see the opportunity in front of me. That is a sad thing, and I am a smart guy. I should have known better. If that happened today, I wouldn't say, oh no, I can't do this. I would look at the opportunity and say, okay, how can I get the money? This is something we all do in our lives. We say, I can't do that. Instead, ask, what will it take to make this work? It is a different point of view that you've got to begin to function from if you truly wish to generate and create wealth. Don't refuse money and the things you would like to have in your life because of your addiction to poverty. Be willing to receive everything. If you really wish to have money, you have to be willing to receive everything. We mean everything, the good and the bad, the beautiful and the ugly. It doesn't mean you have to choose to have that thing in your life, but you have to be willing to receive it. You have to be willing to receive any energy, whatever the energy is. The willingness to receive means you recognize that all things can come to you and they don't stick with you. They keep on going. Does energy ever stop? No. When you don't like something or you think it's wrong, you cut off the energy of the thing, and the energy is the source of everything in our lives. It's what creates every possibility. When we're not willing to receive something, we stop energy from coming to us and we cut ourselves off from the energy of the universe. Everything we've decided we can't receive equals the inability to receive money. If you decide, I don't like blondes, then you won't be able to receive money from anyone who has blonde hair. If you're a moralist, you won't be willing to receive people who are not moral. Once you realize that everything is part of the universe, you get to choose what you would like to have. That's different from rejecting things that you judge as bad as or undesirable. When you try to reject things from your universe, you are unable to receive anything, including money. Get the energy of judging someone else or judging yourself. What does that feel like? Does your life expand or contract when you're in the throes of that judgment? It contracts. Your life swallows itself up when you judge. Someone asked me, if you're around dangerous people or crazy people, how can you receive them? I said, that's easy. Know they're crazy. Know they're dangerous. You wouldn't pick them up in your car and you wouldn't take them home. Just be totally aware and have no judgment of them. I don't have judgments about people, and because of that, I can receive money from anyone. This doesn't mean I have to deal with all those people. It simply means I am willing to receive their energy. If you wish to be truly abundant and to have everything, including outrageous amounts of money, you have to be willing to receive everything. You also have to be willing to be, do, have, create, and generate everything in your life. Anything else is functioning from judgment, which cuts off your ability to be and receive everything. Every time you feel yourself going into an emotion, thought, or feeling, ask, what does this belong to? If it's not yours, it will immediately light up. It could belong to your neighbor down the street or to somebody walking by your apartment. You don't have to know who it belongs to, just return it to sender. Use this tool every time you notice you have a limited point of view about money. There's not enough, it's tough to make enough money, I'll never have the right job, or any of the other crazy limited thoughts you have about money. Dane tells a story that is a great example of this. He said, I had a good friend who gave me something as a gift, and for a split second after he gave it to me, I had the thought, he's giving me this so he can't control me. He's going to use it against me later. I sat there with the lovely gift he had given me and I felt really heavy. Then I suddenly remembered that whenever something makes you feel heavier, it's a lie. The truth will always make you feel lighter. I said, wait a minute, who does this belong to? And it lightened up immediately. I used the clearing statement and it got even lighter. It wasn't until 3 months later that I suddenly realized, oh, I bought that from my dad. My dad is a jealous person who always thinks people are out to get him. I had bought that viewpoint from him such a long time ago, and I had it in my world for such a long time that it seemed like it was mine. There are 4 elements of generating wealth. 1, be willing to have money. 2, generate money, don't try to create it. 3, educate yourself about money and finance. 4, generosity of spirit. To truly have consciousness with money and generate wealth, you have to be willing to have money. You have to be able to generate money. You have to educate yourself with money, and you have to incorporate a generosity of spirit into your life. These 4 things will make it possible for you to have the wealth you would like to have. Having money is different from getting money, saving money, or spending money. Having money is a way of being in the world. It is a level of energy that feels like there is no lack in your life. There is the sense of having a choice. You don't feel like you need to get money. Getting money always comes from a sense of lack. I can't afford this, I need this, I can't get this, I can't have this. Anytime you're thinking about getting money, you're focused on not enough. You're functioning from the idea that you don't have enough, so you've got to get more. Having money means you are not functioning from a sense of shortage. When you are willing to have money, you're able to generate it with no particular effort. We have a friend who's a great example of this. She came from a wealthy family and she never had the point of view that she couldn't have money. In fact, she was completely willing to have money. She has always had plenty of money in her life. She gets jobs that pay her better than anyone else. She married a guy who is very wealthy, and today she still has plenty of money. Why is this? Because she doesn't have any points of view about not having money. To the contrary, she can have money. Have you ever noticed that people with money always seem to get more money? Why is that? Because people like our friend are willing to have money. They like money. They are vibrationally compatible with money and vibrationally appealing to money. Money goes to them. Money finds the things that appeal to it, and the thing that most appeals to money is your willingness to have it. If you aren't willing to have money, you won't get money. I continually see people saying, I want to spend money. They don't have the idea of having money. Some people spend money all the time. They keep spending and spending, and guess what? They don't have any money. Some people complain about having to save money. They say things like, it feels like I'm a slave to saving money, or saving money is no fun. When I hear this, I always ask, well, what about when you are working hard to get the money to pay for everything you bought last month? Are you a slave then? Yeah, you are. That's what credit cards are for. So you can buy what you want when you want it and pay for it later. Do you realize that you are paying for your life later? The truth is you have to have more money than you can spend before you can spend as much money as you want. Most of us are not yet at that place, but there's a way to get there. The first thing you need to do is start tithing to the church of you. Tithe to the church of you. If you want to change your financial condition, you have to become willing to have money. A very important action you need to take is to set aside enough savings so you can function in your life for 6 months without any income. This is one of your beginning targets. You want to be able to cover your expenses for 6 months without working. Put the money into the bank or in a mattress or wherever you want to put it, but arrange your life so you have that amount of money available to you. Once you have that, you will stop worrying about the rent, the utilities, and your monthly expenses, and you'll start to generate more in your life. When you don't have that, you tend to focus on, I don't have enough money. People often put a stop on the energy of money coming into their life. They say, okay, I'm comfortable with the amount of money I'm making. What does that do? It stops additional money from coming in, and it stops the energy of all the things that they want to create and generate. If you're interested in clearing away the stops and the energy of money coming into your life, ask, what energy am I refusing that keeps me from having money? The question brings up the energy you're refusing, and the clearing statement undoes it, which will allow money to show up. It's a slightly different point of view from psychological and metaphysical thinking, where the viewpoint is, if I can just see it, then I can change it. No, you've seen a lot of things that have never changed. Just ask the question and use the clearing statement. It's not just about awareness. It's also about allowing the energy to manifest. You ask the question to actually bring up the energy, and then you use the clearing statement to get rid of it. What energy are you refusing that keeps you from receiving money? Everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD, POC, all 9, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Be willing to perceive, know, be, or receive everything. What would it take for you to be willing to live the energy of what you would like your life to be so that it could show up for you in totality? Everything that doesn't allow that, and all the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and no sex that you're using to absolutely refuse and reject your life and the energy you would like your life to be, will you destroy and uncreate it? Please. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD, POC, all 9, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Do this 30 times a day for 30 days and see what happens in your life. Consider for a moment what it would be like if there were no limitations. Ask, if there were no limitations, if I could choose anything, what would I choose as my life? If matter, energy, space, and time were not the criteria for my choice, what would I like to make as my life? If there were no limitations on time, money, or ability, what would you choose? If you could do what you truly love to do, what would you choose? Journaling prompts. If there were no limitations and you could do what you truly love to do, what would you choose? 2, what kind of people would you like to work with? 3, what starting income would you like to have? 4, what kind of impact would you like to have on the world? 5, what emotion or energetic feeling would you like your life to have? Sometimes things in the universe have to be rearranged before a project or an idea or an invention is ready to take off. You need to find out if it's an appropriate time for you to start. We often hear stories about people who are ahead of their time. They had wonderful ideas, but the world wasn't ready for them. People say things like, he was ahead of his time, or this idea was ahead of its time. There are a lot of things like this that people attempted to put into place before their time, and those projects had to sit in waiting for a couple of centuries before the time was right for them to catch on and become successful. That's not what you want to happen to you. You don't want to put your efforts into something that won't be ready to happen for another 20 years. So ask, is now the time to start you? If you get a no, then say, okay, let me know when it is the time. Write your idea down on a piece of paper and put it in a drawer or tickler file that says, look at me again in a month or 2. Ask the project, because everything has consciousness. When do I need to be reminded of you again? Allow the things in your life to help you to generate money. If you'd like to have more money, we suggest you question everything in your life. Ask, will this thing in my life make me more money? Go through your entire life. Will this thing, whatever it is, bring me more money? It might be a relationship, the chest of drawers, in your room, your car, or all these things. Will this make me more money? You're thinking about investing in stocks, gold, silver, or that sort of thing, you need to ask, will you make me money? But once you make an investment like this, you have to be aware on a daily basis. Ask it, tell me when I have to sell you to make money on you. Otherwise, you could end up holding it for way too long and the value will go down. We know a lady who had a guy invest for her. He was a friend of hers, and in the course of 2.5 months, he made $70,000 from a $10,000 investment. At one point, she knew she needed to take her money out, but she didn't want to offend her friend because he had made her so much money. She held on to the investment even though she knew it was time to sell. During the next 6 months, the value of her investment went from $70,000 to $7,500. She had received the information, take your money out now, but she didn't do it. When you're making investments, you've got to be aware that there is a time frame. Be sure to ask your investments, tell me when to sell you to make me money. What can I change that will generate more business today and tomorrow and every day after that? Asking questions with your business helps you to make the changes that will keep it vital and generative. A helpful question is, what can I change that will generate more business today and tomorrow and every day after that? Oftentimes, what you change alters the business to make it more economically viable. And the answer is not necessarily downsizing, though it may be. We're not saying that you shouldn't let anything go. You have to be willing to let anything go that needs to leave. Here are some other questions you can use to generate more money in your business. They will help you to create the energy that generates the future of your business. What can I do to increase my sales? What can I do to increase the business? What can I be, do, have, create, or generate today that will generate and create more business? What can the business be, do, have, and generate that will generate more business now and in the future? There is a process you can use to help develop this point of view. You need to use it 30 times a day for the next 6 months. What generative energy, space, and consciousness can I be that will allow me to be the energy of having and accumulating money I truly be? Everything that doesn't allow that to show up, will you destroy and uncreate, right and wrong, good and bad, POD, POC, all 9, shorts, boys, and beyonds. When you have money, you're grateful for the people who show up in your life and you're grateful for what they do for you. But when you don't have money, you assume you're being cheated somehow. That money is more important to you than having money. Do you see the difference here? It's an important distinction. You don't have to have money in order to have gratitude. But if you have gratitude, generosity of spirit that comes with gratitude starts to generate more money in your life.